Hey guys, this is That's Doable. Just saw a post on Reddit, and under the video section, there was a video talking about pedophilic material being distributed in Japan. And I already knew what they were talking about. I already knew what it was. And the two things hit me. First, the irony of Reddit uh, having so many upvotes on this post. The irony that this is one of the uh, safe havens for pedophiles, so much that they have now got the reputation of harboring uh, people that are into that kind of crap, and people are now starting to call people who visit Reddit predators just because of that fact. The fact that a right wing website is the ones that had to come and pretty much make Reddit remove all of their rape material and call them out on the hidden child pornography that they had on their website several years back. Just the irony of this being promoted on their website, which I already know why this probably has so many upvotes, and it's probably a Reddit admin that has astroturfed this post to be on the front page so they can distance themselves from that reputation that they've now got. But that aside, I may show you a comment here in a little bit of someone on here, or I'll talk about it. I'll go back to Reddit here in a little bit. But the general discussion that it was a Vice News video, and if you know anything about Vice, they're mainly left wing. They're mainly a left wing news organization. They came from the internet. They didn't start out really as, I don't think, their own business. They mainly focused. They're like, I don't know how to describe it. I think they're a little step above BuzzFeed in regards to news, but they usually almost 100% are left leaning, left wing. They're a left wing news organization. I think they're the ones that did, I think, a hit piece on Jordan Peterson or something. They've done some shady stuff in the past, but uh so they made a news story about pedophilic material in Japan, and already knew where this was going to go. I expected it to go a little bit further though, but they discussed the topic of Loli, LollyCon, and something else I never even heard of before. And if you've been a fan of my videos for a long time, you know that I find that kind of stuff disgusting. And uh, I mean, there's just no words to describe it. It's illustrations of child pornography, and that is something that we should never allow. The thing is, though, and I have seen a Salieri's video on this, and the amount of people, oh my goodness, the amount of people that are out there defending this garbage, that are like, oh no, it's perfectly fine to have pictures of this. It's not real pictures, so therefore no one's harmed, and therefore it's still showing that you have a desire for this type of thing, which makes it disgusting. I mean, there shouldn't have to be any explanation or any. There's no explaining this. Okay, it's wrong. And if you have watched my videos in the past, you know that I responded to a guy named TOG Professor. I made a commentary on this guy a long time ago, and I pointed out that he was posting lolly type of stuff in his videos and using that as his character and his avatar, which was, even now that I think about it, is even more disturbing. But there are people out there that believe that there is no problem with this. And the thing is, you can even go further with this, and this is the discussion that I want to have. You can even go further with this stuff. So if you've watched any anime, which I've watched, not a lot of series, but I've watched a lot of the major ones. I watched One Piece, I watched Bleach, I watched Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, stuff like that. But something you'll notice in a lot of these other ones, not necessarily in the ones that I watch, but I've noticed that there's a lot of high school type of, uh, I almost wanted to say hentai, and you'll see why in just a second. But there's a lot of high school anime out there, and there's a lot of anime depicting girls with, giant tits, and you see upskirts and all kinds of other perverted type of stuff. And it wasn't until recently that I started thinking, and I think I watched someone else's video on this, it's sexualizing minors still. You know, a lot of these people going out on these grand adventures or stuff are still in high school, and you find out that they're like, in my experience, I think a lot of them are 15 years old. So Japan is already borderlining on the, over here that would be illegal, but Japan was already borderlining that having or depicting child porn, even with most of their material, most of the anime they produce. That is a common thing to depict young teenagers with overly how do you describe it? Exaggerated with overly exaggerated proportions and stuff. It's a common thing in anime to show stuff like that. And a lot of people I've noticed that are into these types of anime are really, really freaking creepy. They're really creepy. A lot of your pedophiles actually end up being the type of people that consume this material on a consistent and constant basis. And it's kind of the norm now. It's weird, it's starting to become the norm. Like I can now go on the street and probably run into someone who is a mega fan of anime who watches all this freaking weird stuff on a day-to-day basis. And that's kind of where Reddit comes into, because Reddit is also filled with a lot of creepers and a lot of weird people and strange people, and Reddit has gotten into a lot of trouble over this, which is why I believe that this post that was promoted to at least my front page or whatever had thousands of upvotes. I think that was astroturfed. I don't think the vast majority of Reddit actually believe this stuff, because you would see a more common um, revolt against this type of material. I can say that there's probably a lot of pedos that visit this website. The reason why I say this, and they may not make themselves well known, but they're out there, because I can say this for a fact. I stated in one comment, I forgot what video it was on, but I stated the simple fact: I did not want my child watching pornography while they're in school or being exposed to it. And I looked at it one day and it had like negative 15 votes, which means someone voted it down at least, I think, 16 or 17 times. And these people did not comment nothing. That tells me that there was 15 or 16 people that were sitting there fantasizing about my daughter watching porn in school. And several years back, Reddit got into a lot of trouble with I think there was some teen porn subreddit that was posting child pornography on pictures on their little image subreddit. And this is a thing that is happening today. There are several subreddits. There's no age verification at all, and you can post whatever you want. All you got to do is just claim that they're teenagers. So I still believe that it's still going on, but I think Reddit wants to distance themselves because they are starting to become known for this type of material. Just on the post where this was on Reddit, someone made a comment. Someone had made a comment saying that this was illegal or no, they said that Vice wasn't practicing good journalism because they reported that this stuff is illegal in the United States, and someone got pissed off. You can tell it's someone who indulges in this type of material, and said, actually, you can't do that. No, 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 no. And then they listed like two paragraphs, and it was a pic, and I think the Reddit avatar was some dude with pink hair and like a beard, and like you could tell it's a weird person, let me put it that way. So, and it had 600 upvotes. The video that Vice made has almost 3,000 downvotes, dislikes. That is absolutely disturbing. And it makes me wonder, is it Reddit or what is it? Because like I said, I think the only reason that this is popular or has so many upvotes on Reddit is simply because there's an admin trying to artificially increase the upvotes so they can kind of distance themselves from that image that Redditors are now starting to get. Um, like these days, if I see a Redditor, they get called predator. It sounds so good because that's what they are. Um, like I said, when you have far right leaning websites, far right websites that have to go and tell your advertisers that you're promoting rape and incest porn and child pornography and all that before you actually remove it, you know you have a problem. And Reddit still has a problem. So I just find it ironic that um, this is on their front page, because the general consensus with Reddit is that they have no problem with child pornography. And in fact, now that I think about it, I made a post not too long ago on Reddit talking about how Cuties was the child exploitation, sexual exploitation movie that was on Netflix and still is on Netflix. I made a post saying that that was still up there, and I said that this was bad, and because people were talking about something bad being on YouTube, and I said Cuties is up still, this is up, this is nothing's ever going to happen. The response that I got was that same predator freaking paragraph that was getting spread even when that movie first came out. Oh, it's just showing, it's depicting the terrible um, ways that children are sexually exploited in today's society, which was a god awful excuse then, and it's a god awful excuse now. And that post got a lot of upvotes. So, like I said, I fully believe that this is Reddit just trying to cover their asses. Don't be surprised if you see other anti pedophile stuff on there that gets upvoted. But as far as the whole thing in Japanese and anime is concerned, yeah, this stuff has been going on for a long time, and I think those that consume anime to that extent, to the extent that you're watching it every day and you're watching the very weird ones and strange ones that depict 15-year-olds with giant tits and sexually active and perverted stuff being it. I think if you're indulging in that type of stuff, or someone that's indulging in that type of stuff, you need to kind of back away and take a step away from that situation, because you're probably not going to want to be around them in the near future. So anyway, that's doable. That's my little hot take on after reading this and seeing this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Uh, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.